Hi, hello everyone, and welcome to today's presentation about the University of Twente. My name is Louis Etienne, and I'm an international recruitment officer at the university. I'm here to guide you through our programs, our way of education, and so on. So welcome to all of you, and thank you for being here today with me. So, one second. Yes. So what are we going to be discussing today? Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about the university. We're going to talk a little bit about the country, but also what are our bachelor's programs, master's programs, what are the funding options, and our admissions procedures. So let's get started. First off, before we start with this presentation, I wanted to ask how many of you are interested in master's programs? Yes, and how many of you are interested in bachelor's programs? Okay, good, thank you. Now, talking about the university, are you familiar with the University of Twente? How many of you know the university already? Yeah, good. So the University of Twente is a university located in the Netherlands. We are located in the eastern part of the country, in the border with Germany. The university is located in a city called Enschede, and this is something I usually like to show to people because, you know, it's very common for you to relate the Netherlands with these images, with tulips, with windmills, cheese, and the bikes, of course, because there are more bikes than people in the Netherlands. But the Netherlands has a lot more to offer than this. This is definitely representative of the Netherlands, but there's way more that the Netherlands has to offer, especially when it comes to education. Yes, the education system is a very innovative system in the Netherlands, and the Netherlands is very much focused on developing its system further to really educate its students. Now, as I said, we are located in the eastern side of the Netherlands. The Netherlands is considered the gateway to Europe because for companies, it is very convenient. The biggest port in Europe is located in the Netherlands, in Rotterdam, and the whole infrastructure is created in such a way that it is very well connected through different means of transportation. Now, talking a little bit about the country. I just shared a little bit about our location, the country, etc. But then, why would you choose the Netherlands as a study destination? There are several reasons why I can think of why you would choose the Netherlands. But I decided to highlight a few for you to have an idea of reasons why the Netherlands is a very good study destination. First off, the wide range of English taught programs. For a non-English speaking country, we have the greater amount of English taught programs. Next to that is, of course, a very international and multicultural. You might know that the Netherlands historically is a merchant country and has always been in contact with other cultures. And because of this, people in the Netherlands are very much open with the people from other cultures, people from other countries. They're very welcoming. They're always willing to help. And that's also what you see here when it says open and warm culture. That's the Dutch culture. Now, next to that, one very important reason is the affordable tuition fees. The education level in the Netherlands is very much similar to the education level in countries such as the US or the UK. But the prices for studying in the Netherlands are less than half what it would be in the US or the UK. So it is very affordable, but it is the same level of education that you get in these countries. Now, and of course, the Dutch higher education institutions are very well positioned in international rankings. Now, we discussed a little bit about the Netherlands, but what about the University of Twente? Why would you choose the University of Twente? The University of Twente has, first off, a very multicultural environment. We have students from more than 190 countries around the world. So it's a very multicultural environment. Our campus is very innovative, but not only is it innovative, it is the only all-in campus in the whole Netherlands with a 2.5 square kilometers area. We have a campus that contains everything that a student needs just there in the campus. Now, next to that, of course, there are several other reasons like our excellent study and research facilities, which are very important for the university. So the university puts a lot of effort in making sure that we have the best study and research facilities possible for our students. And of course, the highly personalized and future-proof education. Later on, I will talk a little bit more about that as well. How is education and research distributed within the University of Twente? This is how. So the university has 5 faculties, and all of our education and our research takes place within one of these 5 faculties. And these are some facts and figures about the university. I mentioned already the campus. We have around 12,000 students, of which 33% are international students. The university has around 3,000 accommodation for students on campus. Next to that, we have several associations and several spin-off companies that were born from the University of Twente. And our alumni are currently working in the biggest companies that you would imagine. The university is very much focused also on entrepreneurship. It's been awarded the most entrepreneurial university in the Netherlands for several years in a row. And because of this, a lot of companies are also born from the university. So here in this image, you see companies where our alumni currently work, but there's also companies that were born from the university, such as Booking.com. That's a company that was born from the University of Twente. Now, let's talk a little bit about our programs. So we're going to begin with our bachelor's programs. And we cannot talk about our bachelor's programs without talking about our educational model. The University of Twente has developed its own educational model called the Twente educational model, of TOM for short. This educational model is focused on creating future-proof professionals. And how do we do this? Our education is not only based on lectures in big lecture halls, but it's a combination between the lectures and project-based. So students are implementing the knowledge right away after gaining the knowledge. So throughout the different modules, you will be learning and you will also be implementing that knowledge in different assignments, different projects that you're going to be developing. You can be working in different groups in which you are going to be taking different roles in the group in order to develop those skills that later on will be useful for you after graduation. These are our educational programs. So as you can see, because we're an international university, almost all of our programs are English taught programs. So very few programs are Dutch taught programs. Now, one important or one interesting thing to take into account here or to highlight here is you might notice that there are 2 programs, one in English and one in Dutch with the initials NF. NF means numerus fixus, and numerus fixus is a program that has a limited amount of students that it can admit per year. In general, in the Netherlands, we do not have limits in the amount of students that we can admit for any program. That is very different from the US or the UK, where you are competing for a spot. In the Netherlands, as long as you have the requirements that are listed on the website, then you are already eligible or admissible for that program, except for programs that say numerus fixus. Numerus fixus are programs that have a limited amount of students. In our case, for psychology, is 400 students. That's the limit that we can admit to that program. And that means that If we receive 400 students or less, everybody gets a spot. If we get more than 400 students, then there is a selection process for those students so that we can choose the students for the program. Now, this is how our bachelor's program are structured. We are a research university. For research universities in the Netherlands, bachelor's programs are always 3-year programs. Now, the first year, first of all, before that, our year is divided in quartiles. Each quartile is a module, and each module has a value of 15 ECs. Now, in the first year, you will notice that it says binding recommendation modules. And what is that? The binding recommendation modules are the modules that are needed to, let's put it this way. The first year, you will have 60 credits. In order to be able to continue with this program, you need to complete at least 75% of your credits in the first year. So in the first year, you need to have passed at least 45 credits in order to be able to continue. And when I say to be able to continue, what I mean is at the end of the year, there's going to be an evaluation, there's going to be a committee, and they are going to give an advice, and this advice is binding. So whatever they say is binding. If the advice is positive, it means that you can continue with your bachelor program without any problem. If the advice is negative, it means that you cannot continue with this bachelor program. You can switch programs, and you can also switch programs in a different university, but you cannot continue with this program, not at the UT, but also not at any other Dutch university, because this is not a university rule, this is a national rule. So the binding recommendation modules are an advice that you will get, and it is a binding advice. Important to know, most of our students actually pass the binding recommendation advice, but it's very important to mention it so that you know that the first year it's very, very crucial for you to focus on your studies, because you're going to be evaluated, and if the advice is negative, you cannot continue with that program. Yes. Now, next to that, then you have the second year of your studies. In the second year of your studies, you're also going to start looking at the specific subjects of your bachelor's. And then in the third year, you have 2 semesters. The first semester, you can choose if you want to do a minors, you want to do exchange, you want to do an internship, or a pre-master's to prepare for your master's. There are several options there that you can do. Internships can be done in the Netherlands or outside of the Netherlands as well. And in the second semester, you have your graduation project. Your graduation project can be a project, but it will always include a thesis, because we are a research university, so you will always have to write a thesis in order to graduate. Now, in terms of requirements, this for bachelor's programs, the admission requirements is quite different. For bachelor's programs, international students are not directly admissible for a bachelor's programs. In order to study a bachelor's in the University of Twente, you would have to go through a foundation year. Foundation year is a preparatory year. It's a year in which you are prepared and you follow certain subjects in order to level the subjects you already have, or the knowledge you already have, with what you need in order to start the first year of your bachelor's. And last but not least, and also very important, the tuition fees. These are the tuition fees for our programs. As you might notice, there is a division here. We have alpha gamma programs and we have beta programs. Alpha gamma programs are the programs that are not STEM and IT related. So programs that are not engineering, communication science, psychology, business administration. And our beta programs are all the engineering or STEM and IT related programs. So these are the prices. Then next to that, you have a third category, which is the university college. This is our liberal arts program. And prices for our liberal arts program are usually higher because this is a program that requires way more supervision. This is a program where students pretty much build their own program from start to finish. They make all of those decisions. And in order to make those decisions, it is important to have a structure in place to support the student. So this, the University College program is, you might notice from the slide that it's more expensive. This is the reason for it. And this is the pricing for all of our programs. Now, important, academic year starts in September. So application procedure always starts in October, 1st of October, and it closes on the 1st of May. Yeah. Now let's go to our master's programs. Again, as an international university, most of our programs are English taught. So here you see, we have around, at the moment, 32 master's programs, of which 28 are English taught programs. The rest are Dutch taught programs. And you will notice also that we have 2-year programs, but we also have 1-year programs. Very specific programs are have a duration of 1 year. Now, admission requirements. As as a master's program, the first requirement that you will have is the bachelor's degree. So you need to have completed a 4-year bachelor degree in order to apply for our master's programs. If you studied a bachelor's at the University of Twente, then you can go directly to your master's at the University of Twente or at any other Dutch university. If you're coming from abroad, then you need to have completed a 4-year bachelor's program in order to apply to the master's. Next to that, you need to have a cumulative grade point. So the average of your qualifications should be at least 80%. And because our programs are English taught, it is important to prove your level of mastery of the English language. And how do you do that? You do that with one of 3 exams. You can do it with the IELTS, with the TOEFL, or the Cambridge. And here you can see the grades that you need to have in each one of those exams. Now, again, tuition fees. These are the tuition fees for our master's programs. I already explained the difference between the beta and the alpha gamma programs. You will also notice that the programs from 2 specific faculties have an application fee. We do not have application fee only for these 2 faculties. And it's a 100 euros application fee. It's non-refundable. And of course, it's only for the application. That's why it's the application fee. Now, important, when you're applying for a master's, you will do an eligibility check. The eligibility check will ask you a few questions, and you will hear if you are directly admissible or not for that program. Not being directly admissible does not mean that you cannot study that program. It means that you have to do a pre-master's. Pre-master is a preparatory period as well, where you follow certain subjects that you need in order to be able to be admissible to your program. And you cannot apply for a pre-master's directly. You need to apply for a master's, and then we will let you know if you need to follow a pre-master's or not. Again, application period from the 1st of May, from the 1st of October until the 1st of May, unless it's a program for master's program. You have certain programs that also have a starting date in February instead of September. And if the program starts in February, your application starts on the 1st of March and it closes on the 1st of October. In terms of funding opportunities, the website has a platform called Scholarship Finder. I would recommend everybody to go there and filter by country, level of studies, and program of interest. And there you will see what are the scholarship or funding options available. Then there are several things to take into account after you finish your admission. And I will say the most relevant here to mention is, of course, you need to get an insurance. And we do an introduction period for students as well. But important to know that for accommodation as an international student, the university offers a guaranteed housing offer for the first year. So you don't have to worry about accommodation for the first year. After you finish your admission process, you will get this offer, and I will always recommend taking the offer from the university. This is an approximate of how much you can expect to be spending 1 year living in Enschede. This year, we estimated more or less 1,000 euros per month. Yes. There are several ways in which you can get in touch with us. Of course, we attend events like this, fairs, etc. And if you're there, please stop by. But you also have other options like our online open days. We have online open days for bachelors and masters. You can, of course, become a student for a day if you're ever in the Netherlands and you want to experience what it is to be a student in the University of Twente. Next to that, we have an online meetup with a student. You can arrange that online on our website, and we will pair you with a student that will answer all of your questions. We also have different social media where you can get in touch with us. And I mentioned our campus before. This is a photo of the campus of the University of Twente. And yeah, that will be it for today. Thank you very much to all of you for listening, for being here.